So, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path, my name is Tim Heijen and I am a Dragon Witch. I am so proud of my dragon altar. I have several dragon altars because I have to be on several locations. I have to be in my job and I have to be here and I have to be in the forests. And everywhere is another dragon altar that I made. The first dragon altar was made without even realizing that I did. I had this image of the dragon and I put it, I wanted to give it so much honor, so much representation, so much that I could talk to it. And everything on my dragon altar eventually becomes alive. It's a tool. It's not to stand out and say to everyone that you have one, but something that you really use. So, how to create something like this? It's actually not that difficult. People make it much more difficult than it actually is. It seems difficult to create something like that, but no, use your creativity. Every time you use your creativity to create something for the dragon. Whenever the dragon is involved, creativity is everything. So let me start from the beginning. I take this a simple trash can, nothing else than just a simple trash can, and then, for example, I put something on it, like a cloth or something like it. Uh, for example, I will take one of my shirts on it, so I can cover it with something that you don't see, that it's actually a trash can, but like a table, If you have a table, that is much better, or it doesn't have to be big, Forget about all of these religions. You don't need all of these things from religions. You don't need gold, you don't need money, you don't need anything like it. So you start over with this. Just now you have something to put it on. It doesn't need to be as big as that, doesn't need to be just as filled as that, but that dragon altar is just a result of years on being on the dragon's path. But if you begin, you just don't need much. You don't need like this wealth or a lot of money. Like I said, everything that stands on my dragon altar is practically cheap, or maybe I didn't give any money to it. So you just need, for example, one image of the dragon. You can draw it even. You can even make a drawing and put it on your dragon altar. For example, one of my first was this one. Yeah, it's actually a bit broken. And then you put it in the middle of your dragon altar in the beginning. It was that one. It was almost for free. You cannot believe it that it was almost for free. It's almost now 20 years ago that I had my centerpiece of the dragon altar. Oh my goddess, it's filled now. It's when you touch it, it's pure electricity. But in the beginning, of course, don't expect something of such power in the beginning. Just expect nothing. Expect nothing from your dragon altar in the beginning. But when you create it, when you build it with love and desire for your dragon. Don't make anything empty. One image of the dragon is enough to represent your dragon altar. And then, of course, everything else comes. For example, something so small as a little candle. A little candle so that you light up a light so that your dragon will know wherever you are. So a simple candle, tea light, or what you can also use is long candles, because long candles have colors and that also affects your dragon altar. Maybe also want to have a lighter, because I use a light every single night before I go to sleep. I always put it on so that my dragon would eventually actually find me, because that is also the reason why I put a little light on the dragon altar, so that the dragon could find me. But it also represents the fire element, of course, and that is also what I recommend to put on your dragon altar. Nature. Have something of nature, because dragons are so close to nature, so you want to complete it with something of the four elements. So fire is already present. What else can you do with something of the forests, something of trees, something cheap, something that you can find from a tree or something like this, and you just put it aside of the dragon. Just use your creativity. Everything is is perfect. Everything that you do, and once you create your dragon altar, like I said, don't do it empty. Do it with love and desire. Do it with love, especially do it with the will to connect with the dragon, the desire to be with the dragon. That is also how I made my dragon altar. I made it with so much love and desire. I made it with passion and creativity, and that is also what I recommend to you. Use it with creativity. Of course, you don't have to have all of these things. Like I said, it's been quite a while. I've been on the Dragon's Path like ever since 2005. It's almost 20 years ago. Oh my goddess, where is the time? And yet, whenever I was awakened, I will never forget about it. And once I was stood in front of my first dragon altar with this image, it's unforgettable. Of course, for example, I also completed it with things that I love and I desire. It's not just simply the dragon, but also something that you desire. Something, for example, in my case, I love animals. I became a vegan because of the dragon, and I also want to represent this with my entire path. The dragon made me an animal lover, but I was already an animal lover. I just want to respect all life. That is also something that I do. Um, for example, you can also put a little other things like nature attributes. For example, a stone, a beautiful stone, not just any stone, but a stone that is beautiful and is also something that is worthy to be on your dragon altar. An acorn, for example, that is also nature. Nature is always present on every dragon altar. You know what I actually dislike from a dragon altar is images of the dragon with, for example, medieval times, with swords, with skulls, with death. I really dislike dragons associated with death. That is actually the reason why they are demonized so much, and I hate that to have on my dragon altar. But yeah, like I said, it's your dragon altar. You don't have to do this or do that. Just use your creativity, how you see the dragon. And whenever you are completing your dragon altar, it's always in order to use it. It's not to have in a corner and never look at it. I use my dragon altar every night, every day, every time when I got it difficult. And it has power, it has magic, it has manipulation. And that is exactly why dragon witches use a dragon altar. Whenever I go in front for example, an altar in the church, this is not where we have to have our example of. We don't have should take an example of religions and how big and giant and whatever. No, nature, what you like and how you see the dragon. And that is eventually what I did. I held the claws of the dragon. This one is also very old actually. One of the first one that I've ever had, and he was also represented on my dragon altar alongside with the first one, of course. And the rituals that I did, my brothers and sisters, it was amazing. It was crazy actually in the beginning how real dragon magic is. But dragon magic has to be done always sincere. And it has always, of course, a lot of people actually buy dragons, buy images of dragons, and actually don't mind how they look like. I mind how they look like very much. For example, the guardians that stand in front of the dragon's gate, or maybe this one. This one comes from Wales. Do you know Wales, my brothers and sisters? It's a country from the UK, and it has really, a lot of dragons on their flags everywhere, and I had to have a dragon from there, and it was very cheap. I couldn't believe it. And this was, oh my goddess, it represents the dragon completely. Calm, wisdom, everything that I had on my, I had to have this on my dragon altar because it represents everything where the dragon stands for. A simple dragon, no fire, no skulls, no whatever, nothing. And so all of these other images as well. So for example, image of the dragon in the forest and things like this. So also animals and other things, like Quetzalcoatl image, like like nature is growing on the image of the dragon. That is how I desire it. And like I said, this is a simple trash can. And look how easy and how fast it can be turn into a dragon altar. Also, in other cases of witches or something like this, everything has to be like so. How can I say this? So it has to be like this and it has to be like that. It doesn't have to be like anything. It has to represent you and your dragon. And of course, if you want to represent also nature, then use the four elements in it. So, for example, you can make a glass of water in a cup or something like this: water, fire, earth, and of course, air. That is also something that I can use a lot on the Dragon's Bath. Just blow with it, to represent all of the four elements. And now I don't have a feather to represent the air element, but that is actually exactly how you represent the air element. So if you want to have all of the elements together, that is also a lot of draconic power that you put on your dragon altar. So my brothers and sisters, be blessed.